Recording. Testing 1, 2, 3. We're on.
We give it a Michelle just she left her office. She texted me at 6:44. She was just realized. So we'll give her just a few more minutes. Coming in just any minute now. Let's please stand. We'll ask Mr. Ronnie Adams to lead us in our invitation and our
pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for making it here. Pray that you'll be with each and every one of them as we conduct the business of the community, and hopefully the ends will be for the betterment of everyone. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Is there any conflict of interest? Okay, sorry about that. Okay, we don't have any citizens' comments, so we will move on to the neighborhood watch. And I believe Peter's going to give that report for us tonight. She's going to take the
Okay, the 911 calls you.
Okay, please tip the mic because they're having a hard time picking up the sound back there.
We had 6 alarm calls in Bevel Oaks. There were 2 deceased persons. There was dogs killing a cat, 2 traffic offenses, 2 suspicious activities. There was 1 traffic accident, 1 loose animal, and 1 disturbance dispute. 1 assist. There was a medical hit and run, an abandoned vehicle, and there was a rifle stolen, and a couple of days later it showed up. And then we had 1 fire. And I was told a couple of days ago on Black Gum we had a vehicle stolen out of the driveway, so we all need to do work.
Thank you, ma'am. A lot of activity then. Okay, our next item is our review and approve our consent items. Do I hear a motion to approve our consent items as they have been presented? Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Second.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, our report, well, we don't have any action really tonight. Tonight I just need to report to you that you all know that last summer, I guess, we applied for a hazard mitigation grant through FEMA to remove one of the severe repetitive loss properties in our community. Well, that grant did not get approved. There was a glitch in the fact that the insurance on the property had lapsed at a time before the application was made, but apparently there were some new rules for this past year that said that insurance had to be in effect at the time that last year's program was put into effect. It didn't matter that insurance was in effect at the time that the application was made, so that was the glitch that threw it out. So there's more funds out there again, and this time there's actually more funds out there available than there was last time, and we now have 2 more properties besides the one that we originally tried to do. And of course, since then, the original house plus 1 more has flooded again, and of course we're sitting here looking at the possibility of those 2 flooding again. Hopefully not, but anyway. We are in the process of trying to revise that application and add these 2 other properties. There's the 2 properties that are severely the severe repetitive losses are eligible for 100% funding. The other one is eligible for 75% federal funding and 25% personal funding. Now, the city doesn't have the 25%, but the individual who's applying for it wants to go forward with it anyway, understanding that they will have to take the 25% themselves. And I'm not sure how they figure all this stuff, but somehow the way they calculate the values and everything, it appears that they come out with what they need to net out anyway. So that's the bottom line. They want to be able to net out what you would want to get for the property, regardless of how you get it. So anyway, that's what we wanted to bring for you tonight, to just let you know that that's in the process and that we want to go forward with doing that. And in order to add these on, we will need to pay them another $2,500 for these two. But even if we add there's another possibility. There's another person that's kind of sort of thinking about possibly going this route. It's we have 13 repetitive losses in our community, and 2 that are severe. And the difference in that is that a repetitive loss obviously has flooded more than once, but the claims have not gone beyond the value of the property. When you have a severe repetitive loss, that means that FEMA has paid more than the property was worth. So that's why FEMA has put all this money out here. They want those properties to go away. They need to stop paying claims on those, because that is affecting the whole community and the insurance premiums and everything else. So that's why they're putting this money out here, encouraging communities to try to get as many buyouts as they possibly can. And of course, our people are anxious to be bought out. They don't want to have to go through this again. And anybody that's ever had water in their house knows you don't want to do this again. So anyway, that's what's in the making right now, and we need to get it in by the 15th. So that's what we're wanting to get done. So I'm just letting everybody know that's what we're working on, trying to get out of here. And
Are you free to tell us which properties that?
well, the one there,
I know the Bounds House.
well, it's Mr. Falco. You knew that from the time before. Mr.
Yes.
Falco is one of them.
Yes.
And then, well, the Bounds House, which we knew that it flooded every time that one flooded, but on all the lists, they weren't there. So Mr. Ward, who's helping us, or who's actually the grant administrator on this, I kept telling him, I don't understand. The only thing I could think of was that they didn't have flood insurance and they didn't have claims, but it just didn't make sense. I couldn't imagine anybody having a house that flooded that bad, that many times, and not having insurance. That'd just be an awful lot of money to be paying out of pocket. I just felt like somewhere along the line somebody would have said, we're not doing this anymore, we just tear this thing down if we have to pay it ourselves. But we just couldn't find it anywhere. So anyway, he's done a lot of work with Doug Canant, who is the member of PD6, and Doug was out here during this last flood, and I was telling him about this, that we were trying to do this, and that I just was really stumped about this house down here, why we couldn't find it on the list. So he went back and looked at, he had a list, he had to do some project last year that he had to get a list of all of the severe repetitive losses in Jefferson County. So he said, let me go look at the list that I have, and lo and behold, that house was on that list. Somehow it had gotten moved from Bevel Oaks to that list, and it had had insurance all those times. That's when it got redone. So they worked together to get it moved over to ours, which then we have 14 properties instead of 13, which wasn't good, but nevertheless, it got it in the right place and got it to where we could apply for it. And of course, at the time, we didn't have any idea that it was going to flood again. And of course, now then, the people have had, when they went over to try to start cleaning it up and everything, I think they turned on their heat unit and it caught fire. So now they had a fire in their attic, they've got a hole in their roof, they've just got more problems with the house now than it's had with just the floods. So anyway, it's something that, and it is the city's responsibility when you are participating with the flood insurance program, that when you have an opportunity to do these things, you are expected to try to do this if you can. So hopefully we can do this, and there will be a little bit of cost to the city, as I said. but it's not near like, I mean, of course, we obviously don't have the 25%, which in a lot of cases, that's what the cities do put up, but we don't have that, but, and they know that we don't have that, but at least when these things come along, anytime we can get the 100%, or if we have an owner that wants to go with the 75-25 and it all works out for them, then that's what we need to do. So that's where we are.
Did you say this one's 2,500?
We have to do that, but we're adding 2, possibly 3 more to it, to the application. He's having to redo it and add 3 more properties to the
So
one
we
we did.
lost the $4,000.
I'm not sure we've lost the 4,000. Some of that is supposed to come back to us once everything gets approved.
And didn't you say, Mr. Ward, due to the strange circumstances that came about with that, was going to redo that?
He's not
For
charging
us,
us to
charge-
do that.
not
No,
charging
he's not
us for
charging
that
us to
again.
redo that one at all. So when it all comes out in the wash, hopefully, we will have a good bit of this that we're having to pay will come back to us. I can't tell you to the penny how much, but I'm just telling you the most that, even if none of it came back to us, the most we would have out would be $6,500, period.
Well, the first time when you did it, you said that
If it had been approved, the
if
first
it come
time,
to 4,000 would
it
have
would
come
have come
back
back
to
to
the
us. It would have come back to us with the
Okay.
grant, but it got
So
denied.
since it wasn't, since the people didn't have insurance at that
That's
time,
right.
and that's what you told us,
That's right.
that in order to be eligible.
And they had it. No,
Yeah, they had it.
They had it,
They-
it just, the
the
glitch.
caveat was, they didn't have it when the program was instituted.
Nobody
They had it before
And they
we
had it.
submitted the grant, but nobody knew they had to have it when the program was started.
Well, I know we
That was the
busted that in
glitch.
there, you
Yeah.
know, that 4,000.
No, but they had insurance at that time. The deal is, Mr. Ward himself, and people at FEMA didn't even know that they had thrown that little thing in. All the applications they had had before, it was not an issue as long as you had insurance at the time you made the application. That was the deal. This past time, this is why he said that he would not charge us to reapply for him, because he felt that it was
How much
his
of
fault.
that is involved in the 4,000 to reapply for him?
Nothing.
Saying
He's
doing-
not gonna charge us to reapply again, to reapply for him. But I'm just saying, when all of this comes back, I don't know how much we will get back out of the grant.
So this new grant's 2,500,
That's right. And it includes Mr. Fowler again.
and he'll be put under this.
It'll be one whole grant. It was all of these people.
With all the houses.
Everybody
But
in
the
it.
first one was 4,000, just
That's
one?
how, but he had to start, see what, he's able to use a lot of the stuff that he got, that he had to work to get, to put together for Falgood. He doesn't have to do all that
It's
again.
not a fee that's charged by FEMA.
This is his fee to do this for us.
He's the
This
grant
is his
administrator.
fee. We always have to pay the grant administrator because they do all this work. But he's
So the
done
grant
so much.
administrator is the person that's responsible for making sure that all
That's
the
right.
details
That's
are
right.
right, and
And
that
that's
we're
right.
actually
And that's
correct for applying for this
That's
thing,
right.
so we won't lose our money.
That's
why
right.
we hired
And
him.
that's why he felt responsible because he didn't know and a lot
He
of
is
other people
responsible. If he
didn't know.
wrote a grant
Right.
and it's not correct, he is
Right.
responsible.
Well, it was because of the insurance, so we're not repaying him for Mr.
He's not doing that out of the goodness of his heart. I mean, if somebody did that for me and it was wrong, I mean, I don't think I owe him.
We're not paying him again for
Let
that.
me say something to, the way this is gonna work is, and we're just talking about this one house, the Falgoose house, okay? So, we've applied for X amount of dollars, and I don't know what it is, let's just say it's $20,000 over whatever the cost of the buy of the house is, okay? Then, that money will come to the city, and in that money, we have to have the house torn down, we have to have it demolished.
First was 300 and something thousand.
Whatever, all I'm saying is, whatever money we get, we have to tear, and we'll know what the cost to demolish the house is ahead of time. We'll have that number in the grant administrator has that in there. But if we can make a deal with somebody to get it demolished for less than what was in there, the city will get that money. And so that's just one of the reasons the mayor or we don't know exactly how much money we will get back out of the grant. We might get some of our original $4,000 that we should have gotten all of, but due to circumstances beyond anybody's control, that guy didn't know about it, FEMA didn't know about it, it didn't come up till it got to Washington. But anyway, there's still a chance that we will get most of, or more money than we anticipate when this is all said and done, if we can get it demolished for cheaper than what we did before. And last time, I don't know why I have this number on the top of my head, but didn't it cost the city about $13,000 or
It
is
was
that?
9, the one next door to it was 9 something, and I know that they're factoring in around $10,000 for demolishing, but you're also getting, a deed to whatever the acreage is. It wants, the city wants that goes, so the city is benefiting in a lot of ways with this, but yeah, it will be considerable.
Is that property gonna have to be maintained since it was a yard to start with?
It will
Can
be,
it just be
no,
grown up?
it can grow up. We can let it do whatever, you can use it for whatever the city wants to use it for, except that you cannot build anything on it that would, you could,
Sure.
that's right. You could have a baseball diamond down there. You could even have bleachers on it if you want to do something like that, because the people would wash through that. You just can't put a permanent structure that would create a claim. Or you could let it go back to the wild, and the city would declare it as a free space, and that even helps you with your insurance. You know, with our overall, if you have more free space that you have in an area like that, if they know you're not gonna let someone build something on, it's gonna create a claim. So the 2 acres of free space helps. So it helps the community in general when those things go away and nothing else gets put there. So that's the way it works. But anyway, oh, I'm sorry.
I have a question. We're trying to help the residents of this whole city.
That's right.
We're trying to help specific residents who have significant problems and severe repetitive losses through flood. And I'm wondering what Councilman Marandino finds so amusing about the entire situation, that we're trying to help residents in our city that have significant
I'll
flooding
explain to you.
problems.
I'm gonna
Because
tell
you're over there laughing and smirking and you think.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, they wrote
And I
a
just-
check for $4,000, and then Becky put on this thing for us to come up here and approve it. 2 weeks later, after she wrote the check, I put it all on Facebook. I'm sure you saw it.
No, I got you blocked because you were so abusive to me
Or
last
whatever
week. But
you-
the fact
whatever
of the
you
matter
think,
is,
whatever you
we're trying to
think.
help people. Maybe
And
something
your
didn't go
husband
the way
was
we
very
want.
abusive.
Maybe, let's not go toward abusive, but maybe it shouldn't have, maybe things didn't go the way we hoped they would go, and that's unfortunate, but
That's
we're
why you
doing,
need
we're
to
doing
have
everything
people
we
involved in
can.
things to try
We
to
do, and
figure
we're
out
doing
what to
everything
do.
we can
You
to help
think
the
you
citizens
don't
in
think
this
you
community.
didn't, you think you
And you
didn't
think
know?
it's funny, and I'm offended by that, and I think we
Well,
need
I'm
to wipe this.
offended by you being offended. How about that?
Okay. This is, we were authorized to write the check and help my yards, and that's another story, but that is the reason that I am doing this tonight. I wanted to make sure that everybody was clear on what we're doing. There is no, there's nothing to be hidden before. We were doing exactly what the community is supposed to be doing, and, it's already, that's that. But anyway, that's why I'm telling you tonight, this is what we're doing, this is what we're supposed to be doing, and, just so that everybody is clear, we are trying to help the community. We're trying to help 3 individuals in particular, but it does have it has just outlying effects for the whole community. And as time goes by, as more funds are out there, if other people want to do this, if this flooding mess keeps on happening, we need to continue to do this, because it's a horrible experience for people to have to live through things like this. And if FEMA's got the money and we can get the grant, then we need help. So, yes.
So you mentioned we've got about 4 people right now that are eligible right now that we know.
No, there's more than that. There's just 4 that are possibly
Right,
interested.
but I mean, right now for this grant that we're trying to get in by the 15, is there 3 or 4? that
There's
we're trying
3
to
for
get?
a positive, and a 4th that has expressed a little bit of interest, but I'm thinking they're not going to go with it.
Okay.
So I know for sure we have 3, and those 3 have already signed their letters of intent, and they've given us the information that we need, and most of the information. We'll be working on some more. We just need to get the letters of intent in and get the thing signed that we signed, and the check into him, so he can go ahead and be regrouping it and putting it together, and then I'll still be sending him some information.
Who is our grant?
His name is not Jay Ward. His name is Jeff Ward.
Jeff Ward?
Yes, and so we're going to get that all sent, to him, and he'll be putting it all together. And yes,
So let's say we get the grant submitted, we get the funds, and it comes time for a buyout, and somebody's not happy with the value that they're offered, and I'm thinking specifically of somebody in the 75-25, not the 100%.
They don't
So,
have to take it.
okay.
That the letter of intent says that at any time, if they are, you know, a person could actually put their house on the market and sell it before this could go through. They have the right to do that. By saying they want to participate does not mean that they are bound to take any of this. If it comes back and they say, well, that part just wouldn't be funded to us. The part that we asked for that person, it would not get funded to us. They would just turn around and say, this person has chosen not to take this. And they're under no obligation. They're not, we're not
When you
forcing
apply for the
them.
grant, you're gonna have to give them a value.
We do not give them the value. They determine the value by looking at JCAD, and Mr. Ward will apply for a value because it's his job to give them either by getting an appraisal, using JCAD's values and there's some formulas that they use to come in and to try to get the good value that he needs. He will apply because he's had years and years and years of experience doing this, and he will apply for whatever he feels that he can justify, because before it's all over with, there will be an appraisal. And that's built into this grant, is the cost of an appraisal.
That's what
And-
they give them about.
And they will have that, and so he's gonna do his best to come in here with a number going in that he can validate with an appraisal when they come down here and say that, because he doesn't want to turn in and get something approved that's not gonna be enough money, that they're gonna come down here and say, oh, no, you know, you overpriced this, we're not gonna give you this much, because he's put a lot of work into it, and he's had people sitting here thinking they were gonna get a certain amount, and then the appraisal won't hold.
They
So
got a
he's,
certain amount plus the cost of the.
they're gonna get, yeah, this is a buyout.
And then-
That's the deal. If they have a loan.
Plus the cost of the.
If they have a loan, that loan has to be paid off, the demolition has to come out of it, and then they need to net out an amount that they're satisfied with. And if they don't have that, then they can opt out anytime they want to. If that number does not come up.
So the only number really that we have that's flexible is the demolition number, right?
That's
Because
it.
they're gonna do an appraisal, and if it appraises for $131,622, that's how much those bids are gonna get.
Well, less, minus whatever their loan is and everything. They're gonna.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, and that they owned it outright, but they,
But they get that, and the only thing the city is involved in after that is the demolition.
that's true.
Okay.
So, you know, they figure out all of that for us. That's not, thank goodness, that's not our
But when we
problem.
applied for that last one, it was $350,000.
Well, that's correct, but there was a lot of, I don't have the numbers with me, but there was a lot of, there's expenses. The grant administrator's fee is in there, just like any other grant. You've seen the others we've had for here. All of the fees, the grant administrator,
$4,000.
whatever, that and whatever, there's other fees that are in
Attorney
there.
fees.
There's a lot of legal fees, you gotta have the transfer of the deed and all that stuff over to the city. There's various administrative fees that are in there, and of course FEMA gives them an amount that you cannot go above in these buyouts. So that's what I'm saying, there's a set number there, so the house, everything has to come in with that. So that's their job to figure that out, and then, like I said, the sign is a
I'm
letter.
just trying to figure out where
of
this
intent.
extra that you and Mr. Frugo were talking about is coming from. The only
The only-
flexible number that I can see is the demolition.
That's true. That is true. And like I said, and I do not know how, I've never seen one of these come back. I know that all of our other grants, there's always been some flexibility in there, and we have wound up having money left that we had. So I haven't seen one of these. So there may be, we get to bid whoever comes to do the demolition. So
Do you
I know
remember
that.
how we came out on the one that we did buy out and had torn down a few?
And that had nothing to do with the grant. That was where that house was just declared as a substandard building, and the city had to do that because there were vagrants in it, and it was a dangerous structure, so we had to do that. And we just got bids and took the best bid. That's how that one went. So we've never had an experience with this, so there's no point in saying, you know, how, because I don't know. I really don't know.
We get some extra.
Well, I don't know that you will. All I know that you're gonna get is a piece of land. All I know you're gonna get is a piece of land. You can put that in your little thing.
Got it.
Okay, I know that you do, and that's good. Now, let's move on. Does anyone else have any questions about this? Okay, good. Councilwoman Adams, has a report.
All right, I wanted to talk about, the building, that we've done some improvements on. Doug Emmons has worked real hard doing this for us. But before I do that, Mayor, I want to make a comment. We want citizens to attend, and we ask them to come. We've already lost one this evening, because she doesn't like to listen to it, and neither does anybody else. So after that, the improvements that have been made on the building, Doug has installed a hoist that will take the stuff, the boxes and Christmas in the Park stuff from the Bay Area floor to the upstairs. And it's a good size, and you just push a button and up it goes. And it's really, really nice. Under
Don't
the,
say negative.
yeah. And under the stairwell in the Bay Area, he's built us, he's enclosed it. It looks so much better. And it's a storage area that we can slide, that old chalkboard and things like that in, the larger items. We've got 2 new speakers on the wall, and Doug and Ronnie took care of that. And they're also we have ordered a couple of more mics, because the secretaries are having a hard time picking up what the council members are saying to get a real accurate account of everything that is said. They can't hear it over there, because so we're going to have to start using microphones, and we've got some stands that'll be put here on the table. We had to go with, my husband's telling me I have to talk like this. Okay. We've had some strange things happen. We've had 2 doors that have been left standing open, and a citizen has called me about them. One of the doors one of the doors was the chamber room door. It was completely wide open. The second time that he called me, he was on his way home, and it was dark. It was the Bay Area side door that was open. And we don't have any idea who has come in. Some things have been missing. Some Christmas in the Park stuff is missing. We've had some tables that we know we purchased, but we don't have them. And some of the chairs possibly. So what we've done is we've changed the locks, and we've got passcodes that we have to enter when we come in and enter when we leave. That way we'll know who has come in and left the doors, not only unlocked, but left them open. And what they're doing in here, we don't know what they're doing, besides maybe taking something.
Did y'all report that to the sheriff's department?
No, I did not. One thing about the tables and the chairs is each time we have this rented, I'm going to have an added responsibility. I'm going to have to count the tables and count the chairs before and after each rental. And that is going to be a little time consuming, and I don't look forward to it. Anyway, that's about all. I just wanted to just fill you in that Doug has been doing some improvements, and Ronnie, and the mics should be in another week or so. They'll be special order. They will be just like these.
What about putting cameras up there?
We've just discussed that.
It's $300 for a system.
Well, we were talking about.
You wouldn't have to count everything. That's all you
We're
have to
gonna
do.
look into that. Dave and I have been discussing that, and we talked with the mayor just while we were waiting on Michelle to come.
It's not your budget, right, yeah. You
No,
don't have to wait.
you're right, it's not the budget now.
$300.
Does
Our
anybody,
budget's very tight, bud. Our budget is
Does
very
anybody
tight.
else have any comments or questions on what I said?
You want to show them?
Oh, I would like
I'll
to
show
show
you
you.
after the meeting.
And also Doug has done one thing, another thing rather. He had a table over here with all the machine, whatever you call that thing, console that does the microphones and all. He has built us a cabinet in there. And you can see a white tube that's running down right there on that back wall. That's where the wires are hidden, and it goes right over in to this cabinet, and it can be locked up. You don't have to set it out, do all of that they used to have to do. So thank you, Doug. And I heard something. And if he didn't have enough, working with the city, I understand that he picked up on River Bend 3 big garbage bags of trash. So thank you, Doug. Okay, that's all.
Okay, all right. Do I hear a motion to adjourn so we can go into our community development meeting?
Yeah, I'll make that.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
You got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and we'd just love for all of you to stay for the community development meeting.
And
And Sherry wants to show you her stuff before we do that, I guess.
now let's see, Bud, you made that motion?
And Dave.
Bud and who?
Dave.
Dave.
Mhm,
Sorry
Dave.
about that, Dave.
Okay. Michelle, we'll turn that to you. Give her the microphone.
We'll wait a few minutes, so if
Okay.
anybody wants to, we'll wait a couple minutes, if anybody wants to go check out the cabinet, if anybody wants to, doesn't want to stay for our exciting meeting. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't, but, you know, I guess there might be a couple people who choose to leave.